Mcketoro, M-C-K-E-N as in Nancy, V-I-E, V as in Victor, I-L-L-A-T-O-R-O. I'm the Emergency Management Specialist with the Portage County Emergency Management Agency. Thank you all for attending our press briefing today regarding the incident on the Mogadore Reservoir. Today I have with me to my left is the Chief of the Suffield Township Fire Department, our hazmat team coordinator, our dive rescue team coordinator, Lieutenant Goliath with the Ohio State Highway Patrol, and Captain Lou Vincent from the Portage County Sheriff's Office. I will now defer to Chief Rasnick to kind of talk about the response efforts from today. So Chief, Chief, come on up.
Hello everyone, my name is Bob Rasnick, R-A-S-N-I, with the Suffield Fire Department. The Suffield Fire Department received an alarm this morning at 7:11, report of a helicopter crashing into the Mogadore Reservoir right here behind you. Our initial response brought the Portage County Water Rescue Team, the Portage County Hazardous Material Team, the Portage County EMA, Portage County Sheriff, the State Patrol, and the Portage County Incident Management Team. We had a lot of resources coming in, involved, and working together very quickly on this incident. We came in, we deployed boats to the water. We were able to find the location where the helicopter went down. Ended up at he hit the high tension wires that are over here. Broke one wire across the top. It is not carrying current, but it did come down on the ground. Ohio Edison officials were here, and they secured those lines and grounded them to make sure there would be no hazard to anybody. The EPA has been here. We put boom out on the lake to contain any spill that would come up. So the natural resources have been contained and preserved, and they're safe out here. The divers, and I'm sure the water rescue team commander will address this in the dive operation. We did pull the pilot of the helicopter out, and I'll let Scott Simmons, commander, talk to that.
I'm Scott Simmons, S-I-M-M-O-N-S. I'm the commander of the Portage County Water Rescue Team. We were called to respond to the Mogadore Reservoir this morning. Our initial response was our whole county team, which is about 65 members and 39 divers. We did, once we got on the team, try to establish if we had a good last scene point to effect a rescue operation. And at that point we did not, so we decided to go into what's called a recovery mode, where we actually slow operations down and kind of do things a little bit more defined and a lot more safe. From that recovery mode, we decided that the best operation was to do multiple different things. We have a handheld sonar, and we put a rescue swimmer in the water with a handheld sonar to see if he could discover that. We had boats in the water running side scan sonar to see if we could find the helicopter. In turn, we also, thanks to the Brimfield Police Department, they brought their drone out immediately. The drone was put in the air, and we instantly saw an area where oil was coming to the top of the water, so we focused on that area. We did send our boats over with the sonar to that area as well, and we did find the helicopter. Because of how far it was from the shore, we could not run a shore-based operation, so we did have to run a boat-based operation. So we took a boat out, we anchored it to make a dive platform to safely operate off of that. Once we had that dive platform in place, we sent our first diver under the water at 9:29 a.m. We found the helicopter at 9:33 a.m. and we recovered the pilot of the helicopter at 9:35 a.m. Questions for me?
Could you just, for people who don't know, go into a little more detail the challenges of a boat-based operation like this one?
Absolutely. There is definitely challenges of a boat-based operation. Not being at the shore, we don't have easy access to all the equipment. So we had used multiple boats that we have on our our team to actually shuttle divers out to the boat that was anchored, as well as equipment to the boat that was anchored to run that operation off of that anchored boat. We also dealt with fuel as well in the water. So once our divers did come out of the water, we also used the Portage County Hazmat team and the Portage County decon trailer to actually decon our divers as they came out because of the fuel that was in the water that they were exposed to.
How long did it take you to retrieve? I know you pulled out an individual, correct?
Yes,
How long did it take you to retrieve that individual?
2 minutes. 2 minutes from the 3 minutes from the time that they found the helicopter to the time that we were able to actually pull him out.
Do you believe there are any other individuals, or do you think it was just one person?
We do not. We believe that there was only one individual in the helicopter.
When you were making that rescue, did you know there was only one, or were you thinking?
From the information that we had gathered from other agencies, we were under the assumption that there was only one, but we did do our due diligence and we checked a few other areas that did hit with our sonars to make sure that there was nobody else in there. So we're pretty confident that the pilot was the only one.
Now, I don't know if you have the answer to this or EPA. When it comes to the oil, the leakage from the pump, is there any concern over the wildlife?
I'll turn that over to the EPA to answer that one for you.
Were you certain at the time that there was only one occupant of that helicopter, or did you, once the pilot was located, were you concerned that maybe there was someone else in there as well?
Our initial goal was to find the helicopter and then do a good search of the helicopter, which we did do, and we only found one person in the helicopter.
Did you know at the time that there was only one person?
From the information that we had gathered from other agencies, we believe that there was only one person in the helicopter.
Going forward, how difficult is the cleanup effort, and how long will roads be closed, things like that?
I will defer that to people that have that information for you.
Are you able to tell by your rescue efforts, was the pilot still alive when he hit the water?
I'm not able to determine that.
Hello, I'm Craig Pepys, Lieutenant McKent Fire, Portage County Hazmat Team Coordinator. Last name's P-E-E-P-S. The Hazmat team was called out approximately 2 to 3 minutes after the dive team was. We responded. We were able to put water boom in to gather the fuel. That boom will be in place probably a couple of days at minimum, maybe up to a week, until they recover the copter out of the water. At this time, the EPA is working with the flight company to figure out what that schedule is going to be. Other than that, we have boom here at the dam, and we also placed boom farther up closer to the crash. To catch it in 2 areas. Cleanup wise, EPA will take over that with contractors. They'll be cleaning up around the edge of the lake where we had collected it further towards the crash. It's an option to use a vacuum truck or something like that to collect down here at the dam. So, yes.
What happens now with that helicopter? Can you explain to me the process now of recovering it from the reservoir?
The helicopter company, their insurance, Sheriff SO, and OSP, all the initials will get it and lift it through a salvage company. So.
Will you explain in very simple terms why it matters that this water is clean, why all of this is cleaned up?
Really, this is not drinking water. It's part of Akron water, but it doesn't go to the water plant. So just nature and getting the diesel and the fuel up so that it doesn't hurt the property.
My name is Captain Lou Finson, L-E-W-F-I-N-S-E-N, Portage County Sheriff's Office. Our deputies received the call around 7:36 this morning. 2 units responded. They quickly secured the scene, closed off roads, called in additional units, and preserved everything for OSP to be called to handle the investigation. We do know that there was at least one deceased from the crash. We're deferring all that to OSP and the FAA to gather that information and they retrieve the flight.
Can you tell us anything about where this helicopter is from? What they were doing
The only thing I know as far as that goes is he flew out of Medina this morning, stopped to refuel. I'm going to let OSP handle that part. I don't want to step on any toes as far as the investigation goes, so I don't want to misspeak on anything of that nature.
Are you identifying the pilot at this time?
He has been identified. The family has been notified, but again, we're going to defer that to the Ohio State Patrol in their investigation. We came here in support of the agencies that are going to be handling this, and that's what our role was in this particular crash.
Do you believe there's any information on board?
As far as I know right now, yes.
You said you were first on scene this morning?
That's correct. There were a couple witnesses. They were questioned and statements were gathered from the witnesses also.
How quickly does a team effort have to come together when you're first on scene? Is that a little hectic for your men?
It absolutely is. They did a phenomenal job. These deputies came here, knew exactly how to network. Their supervisors were very much in control of the situation and getting personnel out here and notifying the proper agencies to come and handle this.
But I would imagine there's a high degree of anxiety knowing that there was a helicopter missing and not being able to identify specifically where it is. I don't know if you can take that.
Absolutely. First and foremost, thoughts of prayers and condolences to the family. And whenever there's a tragedy like this, the anxieties are high. Being that it was not a residential area, we could be thankful for that. But they'll have to do their investigation, do their due diligence in finding the cause of this crash.
Wanting to do everything they can, all of the agencies out here wanting to do everything they can. Of course, the priority was whoever was aboard that helicopter, and not being able to specifically at that time identify even precisely where it was. I would think that lends itself to a bit of anxiety.
Absolutely. And again, our deputies did a phenomenal job getting here and evaluating the entire scene, seeing the debris on the water, and taking the appropriate action to make sure the scene gets secured and nothing's compromised. Anything else? Thank you.
Hello, I'm Lieutenant Eric Elias of the Ravenna Post of the Ohio State Highway Patrol. That's ERIKGOLIAS. First and foremost, our hearts go out to the family and loved ones that are affected by this morning's incident. Just after 7 a.m., the Ohio State Highway Patrol received a call of a helicopter crash in Mogadore Reservoir. Preliminary investigations show that a Schweizer 269C struck power lines over the reservoir and crashed into the reservoir. We have identified the lone victim as Anthony Jones, 52 years of age, out of North Royalton, Ohio. We're assisted at the crash scene by Suffield Fire Department, Portage County Sheriff's Office, National Transportation Safety Board, the Federal Aviation Administration, and Portage County EMA. The crash's investigation is ongoing, and we will be working closely with both the NTSB and the FAA.
Now, you guys say witnesses saw the crash. How many witnesses is that?
That's still, we're still in preliminary investigation stages there, but we are working on gathering witness statements.
And how deep is the plane in the reservoir?
I would have to refer that to the dive team with the water rescue.
22 feet.
22 feet.
As far as the power lines, Why was the helicopter so close to those lines? Do you have any?
We don't have that. We don't know that at that time. That is one of the things we're working with the FAA and the NTSB to try to determine the circumstances around the incident.
As far as do you know yet, was the pilot still alive when it hit the water?
We don't know that at this time. That'll be investigated in the Portage County Coroner's Office.
Do we have an age on the pilot?
52 years of age of North Royal.
Can you talk more about the landscape of the reservoir? Like, I know you can't say why the pilot was flying close to the power lines, but were they hard to see? Anything like that?
Obviously, the time of the crash, it is right there at dawn time. The exact lighting conditions I don't know at this time, at the time of the crash, so a lot of that I cannot answer directly.
Is he a pretty experienced pilot?
We're still gathering information on all that by working closely with those federal entities.
Do you know, are those lines that were struck, have those been an issue in the past for other pilots? Have there been any close calls or anything like that?
I have no knowledge of any prior crashes.
Has the plane been removed? If not, what's that timeline look like?
It has not. So obviously, due to the safety concerns of it being in the water, there is a process that goes down on how it gets removed in that timeline. We do not have that timeline at this time.
Your message to people maybe avoiding this area for how long, any kind of estimation when things could be opened up again?
Right now, I don't have the exact timeline estimations. The roadway should be opened up again once we've gathered what we need and our partners have gathered what they need. We should be able to open the roadway back up.
Oh, sorry. Just go over all the disruptions right now so we can just know where people can't go and where things are happening.
Okay, it's really just Sunnybrook Road in the section there from the dam to Sachs Road is closed. And like I said, I hope to be opening that roadway shortly.
Is the chopper still in one piece?
I do not know that.
What's the purpose of the flight?
We're still gathering that information from flight log and stuff like that with our partners from NTSB and FAA.
I know that the chopper fueled up before the crash. Have you been able to do any interviews at that airport? Was there anything that seemed like a problem with the chopper maybe before when he was fueling up?
That we're still all in the preliminary investigation stages on that, so I cannot answer that at this time.
You said the chopper came from Medina, correct?
That's preliminary investigation showing. I cannot confirm that at this time.
Do you have any idea of where the pilot was going?
I do not have that at this time.
Lieutenant, sorry, this may have been answered, but the agency that's in charge of this investigation right now is the NTSB.
No, it's the Ohio State Highway Patrol is leading the investigation. We're being assisted and working very closely with both the NTSB and FAA.
Forgive my ignorance, we hear about like a black box with an airplane. Are helicopters equipped with similar devices like that record things?
That would be a question for our partners with those entities. So the way the Highway Patrol is leading that investigation, so just like everybody pulled together resources today, you talked about something in the water. Well, deputy can't go in the water, right? So we immediately called water rescue. This is the same way we work with our partners within those aviation administrations, is we work directly. They help us with their resources to be able to gather the intelligence and the evidence that we need to thoroughly investigate that crash. So I don't have all of that at this time of the investigation.
So again, thank you all for attending today's press conference, but this will conclude our briefing for today. Because of the ongoing operations, we are asking that no further questions, but you can tune into our social media pages, Portage Prepares, as well as the fire department and the dive team's Facebook pages for additional updates as we receive them. Otherwise, you can reach out to our office at 330-297-3607, and we can best direct you to the appropriate agency. But thank you all. I hope you enjoy your weekend.
No further press conferences.